Welcome to the Workbench After Hours podcast. My name is Keith, and I'm your host. This is where we talk about the firearms community, shop talk, and everyday life experiences. Welcome back to episode number 31 of the Workbench After Hours podcast. Got the usual suspects back with me today. I cannot talk for some reason.
The usual what?
Suspects. And then we got a new guest on. His name is Austin. How's it going, buddy? Cool. And you know, you're really good friends with Hunter, right?
Yep.
Kinda.
Kinda.
I mean, he was the best man at my wedding. If you call that good friends.
I guess that's decent friends, right?
Yep.
Nice.
I need to move away over here to Olathe, but other than that, we're still pretty close.
Nice. So what whiskey are we drinking this week, Hunter?
So, I actually wanted to pick this up a couple episodes back when we were drinking Conor McGregor's, what's it called?
I can't ever remember the name of that
It's
one.
an Irish whiskey, but this is the whiskey I was actually looking up, wanting to buy. So this is the Bullet Bourbon, spelled kind of awkwardly, but so it's a actual Kentucky bourbon and straight bourbon, and MSRP I think was about 30. Wasn't crazy.
It's not bad.
And
It's about what we spend on a bottle for a podcast anyway.
right.
Yeah.
And we're supposed to be tasting charred oak, nutmeg. What was the other thing?
Toffee, I think it said.
Toffee. Yeah, we'll just see if it has any bite to it. How about that?
Hunter, how's your glass over there? Because you had a little snafu before we started.
Yeah, so never try to fit a square into a round peg or a square peg into a round hole.
God, we can't talk today. What the hell?
Because I ended up shattering one of Keith's glasses.
Well, he's sitting
But it was
there.
pretty cool.
He's sitting there with it in there. Obviously, it's not going in, and he just starts banging. I'm like, man, that's gonna burn. Next thing, from over here, it looked like the ice cube just broke. But then I'm like, oh, that was the whole glass.
I didn't want to say anything before, but I've always hated that glass, so I was ready to smash the shit out of it. But anyways, so I went and grabbed 2 more tumblers from my house. I'm gifting one to Keith for shattering his, and then drinking out of mine.
And he's graduated to a dynamic microphone today, so we're gonna see how good he does or
Yeah.
bad.
So you guys will probably not hear a lot of what I have to say, but
Right. Well,
hopefully it's the good parts.
Max and Hazel were freaking out, so hopefully it doesn't pick up as much on that microphone. But yeah, he's gonna be. Look, here he goes, moving the mic.
All right, let's see if it's got any bite to it.
Not bad.
I don't know. I'd say it's on par with just Jack Black.
Yeah. It's got a little bit of that peppery at the back.
Yeah, it's not too much of a bite. It hasn't cooled off enough yet, but
Yeah.
what do you think,
What
Keith?
proof is that?
I don't
I think
know.
it's
Did it say on there?
typical 90 proof. Ooh. A little bit more.
Yeah, I was gonna say it tastes like it's got a little higher proof.
Austin's actually an expert on whiskeys.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you guys have tried Canadian Mist. Or I think McCormick's makes one too. That's pretty good. I know nothing about whiskeys, bourbons, scotches, Lowland, Highland, Oak Barrel. I don't know anything. I mean, I know the terms, I guess.
He came down to Jasmine's parents' lake house down at the Ozarks, and we've been drinking beer all day. We're all hammered, and Bryant just keeps pulling out like different bottles, really expensive bottles,
Wasted on me.
and they kept pouring Austin glasses, and Austin would go, he'd smell it. I think at one point he's like, oh yeah, it's got a nice oaky afterbirth too.
Yeah.
And everybody was like, what the fuck? But we were hammered. I don't know why they were giving us this really nice whiskey.
All right. So how do you guys know each other? I mean, I know you said he was your best man in your wedding.
Yep. Well, as I've told you guys before, I grew up in Denver, and then my parents moved me here junior year of high school. And
It was only junior year?
and we had a PE class together or something like that. And we kind of, you'd talk to other people in the class or whatever, but it wasn't probably till senior year when we really started hanging out.
Yeah. Nice.
And then, let's see. I almost killed him once. I used to have that 350Z, and we got back from, I don't know if it was prom or something. I don't remember.
Ants.
We were at my parents' house, and I had just gotten it. And I was like, let's take it around the block. And we'd been drinking a little bit,
Bad
or
idea.
maybe a lot of it. And I was just ripping through gears through the neighborhood. And he was holding the oh shit handle. I think he about shit his pants
I took
too
a
as
chunk out
well.
of the seat. I left.
And then after that, we just started hanging out quite a bit,
Washing cars together.
washing cars at Waterway.
Yep. Shout out.
And then, I don't know, we just, we both love stand-up comedy. We both, I don't know.
All our hobbies aligned.
We
all
just
that.
get along really well.
Yeah.
We both started playing disc golf at the same time, started playing together.
Worked out for about 3 months together.
And then he went to UNMC,
UCM. Central Missouri.
Warrensburg. And I used to go down there all the time. I'm guessing it's a lot like Pitt State. There's like a small little street with the bars on it.
Oh yeah, Main Street.
Yep. Oh yeah.
And-
Pine Street.
Yours was Pine Street.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
It was.
And then let me see
Something.
what else. Am I missing anything? I mean, I guess at the time, he really likes dating girls named Lauren. So he was with one Lauren for a while. And then we started dating the second Lauren. It just was
L2.
like L1, L2. So when we started calling her L2, they were together for a while. And Jasmine and her kind of became decent friends too. So it was nice because all four of us could go out and do stuff. And then, I don't know, it's just one of those people that you always stay in touch with. Every week we'd talk several times a week probably. And I don't know, it just happened, just how it happens.
If you could just stay like that the rest of the episode where you are, your sound levels will be perfect.
That's not
I'm
gonna
watching
happen.
yours. I'm like, yeah. I had a bump. We had a little bit of an issue. We had to change out Austin's microphone. Something's going on over there, but I've been playing with his levels while you were talking.
Might be time
But-
for a new interface. Is that what you're saying?
Right, get the new one.
New toys.
Yes, but so we ask any guests that we have on here because we kind of started this. Obviously, it's a kind of more of a gun podcast, but we like to ask everybody kind of where you're at with firearms or your firearm experience. Are you into guns? Are you like a collector? Are you an avid shooter, or just
Well,
what's your experience with
Um,
guns? I guess.
Or how'd you get into them at first?
if you are.
well, I am, I guess. Yeah. I think my dad got me into it pretty early. Started deer hunting, and at that time, that's all the hunting he really did. So he used to bird hunt quite a bit. So he had a couple old shotguns laying around, and so that's kind of what started it. And then I met a buddy who runs a duck club, which is pretty fortunate for me because I get to go down there and help him out during the summer, cleaning blinds or pumping blinds out after a flood, and he'll sneak me in for a couple hunts, which is awesome.
Nice.
But I mean, that's all the hunting I've really done, duck hunting and deer hunting. I'd like to go do some more stuff, smoke some prairie dogs or pack an elk out somewhere.
Well, I think you have the most hunting experience out of anybody that's been on. I don't think none of us have been hunting. We want to, and I don't think anybody else we've interviewed has ever hunted. Nathan hasn't, right? I know he.
I think
wants
we
to.
went when we were kids.
Yeah.
We went one time squirrel hunting. That was about it.
Okay.
but-
That's like most people that you talk to that are into guns kind of got into it through hunting or
Mhm.
growing up with their parents hunting or something like that. So
Yeah, I mean, and that's kind of how it started. And then I think after that, he used to have an old semi-auto .6 that his dad gave him way back, and it was kind of sloppy, didn't shoot the best. So he sold that and bought me one of those old Remington scope combos. It's a 243, and I've killed a few deer with that. And I
Nice.
mean, they drop them
oh yeah,
right now,
that 30
You hit
on
'em-
6.
Yeah. Or no, this was a 243 that
Oh,
he
was it?
bought me. Sold the .6. Sorry if I didn't say that. And then I bought a bunch of guns after that. I got a couple handguns. I got a full-size Canic. They're 9mm. And then a little Smith & Wesson Shield. I think the second generation. And then I got a Savage 308, that I had plans to make a bench gun.
Mhm.
It's got the heavy 20-inch barrel, the threaded barrel. It's still just sitting in its case. Then I bought a 7mm .08 Weatherby that I was planning to pack around if I ever take it up into the mountains or something. And then let's see.
So it sounds like you have the trifecta.
Mm-hmm.
I got 3 shotguns now.
So you got shotguns, rifles, pistols. You're set.
870. I bought a new Beretta A300 semi-auto that I really like, and then my dad gave me his it's a Benelli Montefeltro Super 90, I think.
All right.
It's an old upland gun, but semi-auto too. So yeah, I got a few, and then I built a few ARs. I don't have any now. I sold them, but kind of wish I still had some.
You might have to get some now because Joe Biden is wanting to ban them again.
I got to go to Palmetto State, build another $400 gun,
Right. Right.
send lead downrange.
Before I met you, Austin had already bought his shield,
Mm-hmm.
and that was the first, compact pistol I'd ever held in my hand. Man, does it feel good. But, after feeling that and then feeling everything else, I think I'm still going to go with the P360. But what I was going to say is someone who can talk to you all day about building an AR, because we're I can't remember if we were on camera or not, but Austin, anytime he gets into a hobby, he gets 1,000% into it. He can talk to you about every
I don't know that
aspect of the AR.
Not anymore. Maybe at the time,
Yeah.
but
It comes back to you like,
Yeah.
they're not real complicated.
no, once the first couple times you build one, it takes a while. When probably at the same time you were learning how to build them, you could actually watch YouTube videos.
Are those no longer?
No, they don't
Really?
allow that anymore. Mm-hmm.
Huh,
Yep.
I didn't even know that.
Because it goes against their community.
Well, everybody
standards.
knows those. If you don't have them locked up, they're just out and about on their own,
Oh yeah.
doing
Doing
dastardly
damage.
deeds.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
not like you could do similar stuff with a handgun, but
There's
it's another
there's
debate.
some different platforms like Rumble that's not anywhere near as popular as YouTube, but you can find people that had YouTube videos on how to build like an AR lower or upper, and they post them over there. So you can still find them online, but nothing like you used to. It's a lot harder to learn how to build one unless you know somebody. But the first couple times you do it, it's hard because you got to remember which spring goes where, the detents and all that stuff. But after you do it a couple times, like I don't even like I know exactly where everything goes, and I have extra parts from losing a couple of detents and springs because if anybody's built an AR, man, those things
Yep.
go flying.
Oh yeah, the only thing I had issues with was I just didn't have the right, like a crow's foot for torquing the barrel
hmm
and getting the headspace right, and that's the only thing I was worried about. But
Yep. Yeah. Typically, especially with an AR, I don't think I've ever had issues with headspace at
My
all.
Buddy built the who's that manufacturer? Aero Precision.
Uh-huh.
He built a 308 from them, and he didn't bother torquing down the barrel right. Couldn't get it to eject right or fire or eject sometimes at all, and ended up causing him a lot of problems. So after he did that, I was like, all right, I want to get this right. I don't want
Did
all those headaches.
Did you guys get like a headspace gauge, or did you just make sure you torque it down to the proper?
I didn't get one of those no-go gauges.
Mhm.
I just bought a torque wrench. I needed it for other projects anyway, but
Right. Exactly. If you have an excuse to buy tools, freaking
oh, I got
Yeah.
a sickness.
Yeah, so do I.
especially gun tools.
Yeah.
Keith, what is it again? That's your number one AR company that you like to use?
Oh, I use them, and I'm a dealer with them. Aero Precision.
Mm.
I found them when I was learning about ARs because my first one I had was a Stag Arms, and I kind of it was like a stock mil spec one, and then you switch everything out to Magpul, and then you kind of do a little bit more research, and then somehow I came across Aero. I think we were looking for lowers, and that's what we found, and then I did more research on that company, and I like what they do, and I sell a lot of their stuff. Mostly that's the only AR stuff I carry is Aero. I can get some other stuff like Wilson Combat, but they're so expensive. I do like the other company is BCM. I like their stuff, but they're more expensive, but there's a reason it's more expensive because they're the top of the line, kind of like an AK standard. Like if those BCM rifles will run
Like-
forever. There's a YouTube channel, military arms channel, I think he was taking one of the BCM ARs and just firing it without cleaning it to see how long it would like function. And he's like probably 20,000 rounds in and it's still running. And he's not doing like a torture test where he's doing it all straight. Like he'll do like a couple thousand rounds here, put it away, and then bring it back out, shoot another couple thousand rounds, not clean it, doesn't add any lubricant, and it's still running, which is surprising for an AR.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, you'll have issues with your bolt carrier group getting gunked up and stuff. But, man, if that microphone's going to pick up that noise.
Is it picking up the noise?
It will. This one will. The one you use. I know
Where
he's
those
so
joints are.
finicky. He's got to move. He has to
Yep.
move. He's always...
Rubik's Cube or something. Fidget spinner.
I told you to leave me with the worker bee, but no.
Well,
You said I had to upgrade.
I'm glad we didn't have it because otherwise it would have picked up the dogs. Or maybe we should have given it to Austin because we were having some issues with his mic.
That was the first thing I
That
said.
was
Give him the goddamn worker bee.
First time we've ever had issues. And our IT guy, Chris, didn't fix it.
Jeez.
Slacking.
Man, he's been downgraded. Which Blue IT?
Human resources, probably.
Hey, that makes sense because you that's your kind of degree, right? HR.
I got a little bit of that in there. It's mostly manufacturing.
Customer service. He's got to take the calls.
It's mostly manufacturing.
Take the complaint calls. You get to bleep out all Hunter's F words. That's your job.
Oh, fuck no.
It's gonna be a lot.
Yeah, it is. But yeah,
Okay, so you said you had the 3 shotguns. How many pistols do you have now?
Just the 2.
Just the 2? And then
I
how
want to
many?
get a Glock 20, by the way.
we'll make
I
that
think that's
happen.
their 10 mil.
I'll make that
I don't know
happen.
if I can afford it right now, or if I want to spend the money on it right now.
And then how many rifles?
Just 3.
Just 3. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And do you have a gun safe at the house?
No.
Why? Right?
I don't know.
There's
He's
no,
heavy to
got that
move, they're hard
big
to
dog,
there's no Rugrats running around. There's not like you have to worry
They're
about
scattered.
that.
None of them are loaded.
right? If he's got him
Well, a
positioned
couple of them are maybe
for his
loaded.
home defense.
Speaking of having a gun loaded, ready to go, so you went up to
Oh yeah.
your parents' cabin up at Table Rock, and let us know what happened with that.
So, yeah, this was just this last weekend, and our neighbor down there across the street texted me and said, "Hey man, there's some weird trash in the driveway. It's like a first aid kit's been smashed up. There's some coins. There's a couple needles out." So I was like, "Would you mind going around checking all the doors and windows, making sure everything's buttoned up?" And he did, and he didn't see anything. But so I was figuring maybe somebody just stopped in the driveway. But I brought my little shield down there and went to go unlock the front door, open up the house. I had the girl from the dogs wait in the car. I was going to go clear the house. And immediately I knew something was off because the deadbolt on the door was locked. And we never lock that. We just use the one on the handle. So right there, like the hairs on my neck stood up.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, well, shit, now what? I don't even know if the key works for the deadbolt. So I walked around outside, checked everything. All that was fine. I thought I could tell something had been going on inside. So I go back to the front door. I just got a little like stream light, flashlight, and the key does work in the deadbolt. So I open the door, and you can hear everything, your heart beating. 'Cause I don't know if they're still there or if anybody's been there at all at this point. So I just go around the bottom floor. Some stuff's moved, some stuff's out. You can tell somebody's been there. And then it's just a little kind of raised A-frame. So I go upstairs. There's 2 bedrooms when you go up the stairs, one to the left, one to the right. So the door to the right was closed. So I was like, well, that's good. So I cleared the one on the left, and somebody had been sleeping in there.
Huh.
So I'm trying to be as quiet as I can, but the floors squeak like crazy. So I was like, they know I'm here, but I just don't want to be surprised. And then, I don't know, cleared that other room. Nobody was there, but there's a sliding door up on that second floor bedroom, and the lock and the little piece of wood we used to wedge in there was gone, or beside it. So that's where they were coming and going. And so, yeah, I don't know, how long they'd been there. how many nights they stayed, a few hours, but there was all sorts of like they carried water bottles. The water was off, so they carried water bottles up to like it's just a bathtub upstairs, and it looks like they used it to shower because they brought soap up there too, and then they got bedding out. It looks like they made coffee. They took a shit and left it obviously because you can't flush it because the water's off. They drank some booze. They broke a bottle of whiskey in the garage. Oh, they stole the golf cart.
Oh, that sucks.
But the crazy part is they didn't like turn down the AC, which I thought was weird. Like, they were polite about that. They didn't really like.
They just left it nice and hot.
Yeah, they went through all the drawers. Some sleeping pills were emptied out. Ibuprofen was left, stuff like that. They went through the fridge, ate some food out of there.
You found that purse, right?
There's a purse with a needle in it in the garage, some other paraphernalia. But I had, probably I took most of my rods right home, but I probably had 8 to 10, $300 rod and reel combos. Like 3 or 4 of them sitting on the deck of the bass boat in the garage beside where the golf cart would have been. So they would have had to like climb over it. And then another 5 or 6 in the rod locker, plus, $2,000-$3,000 worth of tackle. The electronics were in the boat, all that stuff. And they left all that. They just took the golf cart.
People just don't know.
They were just cracked out of their minds, and they're just like, whoa, shelter.
So we go back and forth. Was it kids? I mean, the booze, and there was some weed out. Found a couple joints laying around.
Except for the fact
makes it, like the shower part makes it weird,
Yeah.
So I don't know, some local Southern Missouri tweakers.
Except for the fact that you found the golf cart at some known.
So we ended up. So of course it's like I don't know. There's a lot of people that live down there. They're kind of retired down there, so word spreads fast. And a couple of them went driving around the neighborhood to start looking for the golf carts to see maybe if they get lucky. And they ended up finding one that looked similar. So they came and got me. We went out, drove past it once. I was like, man, that looks like it. So we drove by a little slower, and sure enough, it's the golf cart, I'm pretty sure. So I go back, and it's like less than a half mile from our cabin. So I go back, call the sheriff, and he's like, all right, well, I'm pretty sure I know where it's at, and I'll drive past it and give you a call or come by if I can't find it. So I get a call like 25 minutes later. He's like, hey, I'm in their driveway. There's this golf cart here. You want to come take a look? Mm-hmm. So I was like, sure. So I get down there, and yep, it's a golf cart. I mean, there's burn hole in the seat that's recognizable. The brand's exact same. All the accessories, a lot that we put on, So I was like, yeah, this is it. And it looks like it's been wrecked and bungeed back up. So, of course, there's no key in it. He's like, well, I'll go to the door. I know these people don't answer. They never answer when I knock. He's like, I deal with these guys all the time. So he goes up, knocks. They don't answer. He's like, well, do you want to tow it home? I was like, yeah. I was like, do you need a VIN number? Or I don't know if they have VINs or serial numbers. He's like, I don't know. You sure it's yours? I was like, yeah. Like, yeah, fuck it, tow it. So we just towed it home with another golf cart. I bought a key. I guess they're universal. It was like 1989 Easy Go golf cart and up. It'll start. And I was like, what? So I got to put a kill switch in or something.
Well, that's sketchy a little bit.
Yeah, so I'll wire in a little toggle switch somewhere. But yeah, so that was my weekend. But that night, and then the next couple nights we stayed down there, it's just, I don't know, it's a weird feeling. It's like a violating, somebody's been in your space, touching your shit. We did.
Oh, yeah.
We washed every piece of linen we could find. We wiped everything down with bleach and Clorox. Like every noise, I was putting my hand on my gun, and I'd sit up and I'd listen. I didn't sleep, I don't think hardly at all.
Did you fall asleep with the shield underneath your pillow?
It was just on the bedside stand. But we had dogs down there, so hopefully early morning. And then the next couple of days I spent all the exterior lights are now floodlights, and all the locks have been replaced. And
I see that all the time with my line of work. Luckily, I mean, I've seen stuff where they do way more damage than, like, I've seen it to where obviously they're going to go in there and steal copper pipes if you have copper pipes. Right. Even if they don't know if you do, the holes in the walls. I've seen it to where they put concrete down the pipes. They literally shit everywhere. And I've seen ones where they rub shit on the wall. Like, there are some messed up people, graffiti and stuff. So,
and that's what the sheriff said. She's like, well, we respond to reports all the time where drawers are flipped out, furniture's flipped over, mattresses are cut open, whatever. So, I mean, all the drawers have been gone through, but luckily they didn't do too much damage,
Yeah, that's just gives you an uneasy feeling.
Yeah.
It's like, God, I don't know. I would have to throw away all the sheets and just
we washed them
start
all.
from scratch, because it's like, who knows what they were doing or what they had. That's just, you don't know what they were doing. I mean, and that's got to be a crappy feeling.
Well, I mean, so my dad passed in October, and he would go down there at least twice a month, sometimes more, sometimes stay for a week or two at a time. And my family, none of us are going to use it as much as he did, so I go down, once a month or so. That's the only shitty part. So now we're looking into security systems, and of course, there's no internet down there. You can't get cable or anything, so maybe satellite. But I think we found a couple brands that work off a cell, but you can't use cameras in, or at least access them. And I haven't found a camera that saves to itself as opposed to uploading to the cloud.
At least get a couple of
those
stuff. cheap fake ones for now, and just see if that'll help deter.
Yeah.
That's.
And I was asking the sheriff, what, I was like, if I came in here and there was somebody here and I had to pull the trigger, what am I, she's like, well, if you're afraid for your life, you have every right to stop the threat. And then I would kind of jokingly ask her, I was like, and if that threat can't tell their side of the story, that's better. She like shook her head no, but was like, I was like, oh, all right.
Oh, yeah.
So kill him dead, I guess.
Well, you always hear the stories where people shot, because they had a gun in their face or were getting shot at, and then they shoot and stop that threat, but don't kill them. And then that burglar or whoever ends up suing them. It's like, how is that?
Stop the threat.
Why is that freaking a thing? Like, why should you break into somebody's house? You should not be able to sue them.
Yeah.
At all.
Your stairs were loose and I twisted my ankle. So
right.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Escape.
But yeah, that's always the big question. Is it's like you have to make sure that your life, like, you feel threatened, like you just feel scared and like they run off. Can't run after them.
They don't start shooting them in the street.
Or if it's like, you hear about people going into the wrong house and showing up drunk, you got to be real careful, and definitely got to that making sure it's a threat to your life is a definite thing before you start pulling that trigger.
Man, if I never have to, I mean, that would.
Oh yeah, that would
obviously,
because that's a whole load of.
You lose your weapon, and you got to live with that fact. That was all going through my head. I was like, man, I hope I can do this. I think I can, but I don't want to.
I think if you were truly, your life was truly threatened, and you were that, I think you'd have no problem doing it. But it's that the in between. It's like,
if I just see him there scratching his neck, squatted in a corner,
like, I want to pull the trigger, but
we were talking about that a bit earlier before we came over to your place, Keith. That, like, I was thinking about it for myself. If, like, when he was there, he was with his girlfriend and their dogs, and so it's like, I'm protecting other people, but he's gonna go down again Friday morning, and so now you're by yourself. If there's somebody who decided to go back in there, you're not protecting anybody. It's probably easier to run away, but it's still your property. There's somebody squatting in there. So if you've got your significant other or whoever with you, it's a lot easier to pull the trigger. But then all of a sudden, if it's just you by yourself, what do you do?
Right.
Do you run and call the cops, or do you especially if it's in a threatening situation, do you just try and put them down, or like, how do you go about that?
That's one of those situations we all hope we never.
I'd rather be prepared than not. So
I think I'm the only one that hasn't had to clear their house. Hunter's cleared his house a couple times.
Like, way too many times.
Chris has, right?
I've done it like 3 or 4 times.
I don't think I've ever had to. Of course, I sleep with a bunch of fans on, so if something's going on downstairs, I'm not going to hear it.
You guys like to drink a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Well, and we've got the fans on at our house, but I realized that our AC has to run so hard to cool off the top portion of the house. And so that cold air is running through, and so everything's tight. And then when it relaxes for a second, things start to heat back up. The duct kind of pops back out and makes this real loud pop noise. That wakes me up. I'm such a light sleeper, but that wakes me up, and I'm always like, come on, Asher, don't you want to check it out with me? And he's like, fuck that, I'm tired. So
Yeah.
then I have to fucking walk around the house like, please don't let anybody be in here. Please don't let anybody be in here. But yeah, it is spooky when you have to.
Go clear
The
a house.
adrenaline rush is going through you, you know?
I mean, because that safety only ever comes off, at least on the shield, it's got an actual thumb safe. So
Yeah,
clicking that off, I'm like, all right, let's go time.
I've got the Glock, so there is no actual safety. It's just
I'm gonna take that
freaking
Canic
pull
next
the
time.
trigger.
It holds 18+1, so I can miss a couple times.
You can spray all the way.
Yeah, and
around.
then I'll probably bring that 870 down there.
Have
What's
to-
I don't know, the legal limit for shotgun barrel length? So 18?
18 and a half.
18 and a half?
Mhm.
Just wondering.
And
How many can the tube carry legally? Or is it
I don't-
unlimited?
It's unlimited, but then it'd be sticking
Well,
way
you
far
can
out.
fit
Well, I
four in the
understand
tube.
that, but
It depends. It depends on the shotgun.
and
I think
the
they
shell size that you're using.
Well, that and
2 3/4.
also if you're hunting, they got a limit.
Well, you got to
sometimes.
plug. You got to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can only hold 3. There's a trick with a Benelli.
Yeah, we can put
And
like
I think
a
the
stick
Beretta
in
does
there or
it
something.
too, where you can wedge a 4th one in there.
Yeah.
So you were going over what they didn't take. To me, I would be the same way because I'm not into fishing. I'd be like, rods and reels, tackle.
Fuck it.
I don't fish anyway. I don't know anything.
Well, I had, I mean, way too much shit just for myself. And then my dad passed and he had like 2 to 3 times what I had. I mean, he had a real sickness. I mean, it's unreal. I'll never have to shop for another bait, lure, soft plastic. I don't care what color you want. I mean, what size. And he had no organization. I mean, in his head, he knew exactly where
Where was
everything
that?
was. It'd be the back of the closet. All of a sudden, somebody start catching something on a color we haven't fished in like 6 years. He's like, oh, I got a few packs of those. It's like, what? So I went through and tried to organize it all, and it's been a nightmare. I've just bought tubs, those big black and yellow ones from Home Depot, and got those filled up. I don't know. I'd hate to count it up. I thought about doing like a pegboard, setting it up like Bass Pro,
Yeah.
because a lot of them are still new in the box or in the bag.
I've been buying those money bags. They're like big Ziploc bags, and you can put I don't know how many soft plastics in there. I have probably 50 packs.
I gotta check those out.
They are so nice, and I could throw hard baits in there too.
Yeah, the crankbaits. I mean, that's what I love throwing probably the most.
Yeah, I love throwing a good crankbait.
And then you got to really crank it when it gets caught on something,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
It's all about line weight,
Yep.
the depth of them.
So, Chrissy Chaos, how, you just heard that his dad had a crazy amount built up. Is that your end goal to just be able to have just unlimited fishing supply, or what do you?
I don't know, because like at one point I was hard into soft plastics. That's all I'd buy. Like every time I went to Bass Pro, I'd buy like 1 or 2 packs.
Like,
didn't
what-
matter.
You
What
have
is-
to.
For those of us that don't know, what is a soft plastic?
Like your fake worms.
Okay.
and they got like lizards.
creature baits?
Yeah.
Are they? So those
They
are
got
plastic
trailers
and
for
not like.
jigs.
Aren't some of them like a gel?
It's kind of like
Or-
a gel. It's like a silicone almost.
But that's what you call a
It's
soft, plastic. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't-
Some are softer than others.
Yeah. Depends on your salt content too and what's in it. And
What are the ones that look like fish and have 2 little hooks hanging off their belly?
I mean, there's a million of those.
Yeah.
Jerk bait, Probably not.
crankbaits.
I
Oh,
know,
yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
I'm into
But
jerk.
swim baits.
I'm into jerk bait for sure.
You'll jerk some bait. I've seen it. Talk about Vegas. Just kidding.
Where's your favorite place to?
Table Rock.
That's your favorite place to fish?
I fished in a bass club for a while. We fished
Because you did some
a
Ozark
couple
fishing,
lakes,
right?
couple lakes in Oklahoma. Fished Taney, Stockton, Lake of the Ozarks, Palmy, Truman, Table Rock, Grand, and then a couple of the smaller Kansas lakes over here, like not Pomona, not Hillsdale,
Lysine.
Lacine we fished, Wolf Creek I fished, but yeah, I don't know, Table Rock.
So Table Rock's your favorite. What about yours, Chris?
I like anything down south.
Okay, that doesn't count. If you had to pick a lake, what's your favorite lake to fish?
I mean, that's the most broad
Right,
answer.
yeah.
I've
Well,
ever
it
heard
depends
my
on what
entire
you're
life.
fishing for, really. Like, if you're fishing for catfish, I want to go fish the rivers because you're going to get your big blues out of there. But
Mhm.
if you're fishing bass, I want to be down like Georgia, Florida, along the coastlines.
So what are you fishing for here?
I fish for anything around here. Really.
what's your favorite spot just up here, just for general fishing?
If I got the kids with me, there's a little neighborhood pond. It's like maybe 4 acres, and they keep it stocked. And they used to have really big catfish in there and bass, but I think they shocked it and put them all back in Spring Hills City Lake. But I'll just go there and throw baits and catch one or two and be all right, good.
Nice.
What about your favorite local fishing hole?
Depends on, I guess, what you're fishing for. I mean, I don't fish too much around like Kansas lakes. They're flat, they're muddy, they're hard to fish. The wind can get really bad on them. A lot of them have some good smallmouth actually. Some of those power plant lakes. I don't know. Like crappie wise, I'll go to Truman.
I'll
if
tell
I'm bass
you
fishing,
what.
Ozarks or
I've
Table
caught
Rock.
a shit ton of crappie at
Ozarks.
no, at where's
Hillsdale?
Clarence? Hillsdale, yeah.
Yeah, Hillsdale. We've whacked them there. They got walleye in there. We'll
Yeah.
catch every once in a while.
But the only way I've done it is we were just sitting off Clarence's slip, and I'd put a weight on it, and you drop it all the way to the bottom, and you reel, and then you like pop it or whatever. But I caught like, I don't know, maybe 8 at one time, and none of them were big enough, I don't think,
Keepers.
to keep. But then you feel bad because there's a hole in their lip, and they're just gonna go
I
down
know.
to the bottom of the ocean, or not ocean,
Ocean.
bottom of the lake, and die immediately and become food for another fish. And
What kind of you mentioned a boat at the lake. What kind of boat do you have?
We fish. I got what is it? 93 Champion, like a 18-foot with a 175 on it. Good little bass boat.
Yeah, I
Runs
know
pretty good.
exactly what that is.
did you sell your boat?
Yeah, I had an old Astro Glass. And so did my dad. He still actually got that one down at the lake.
So you and Chris made 2 bad decisions. You both sold your boats.
I still got one. I got
Well, at least
3
you
down
still
there.
have one.
Actually.
Chris doesn't have one anymore.
Yeah, I
I
know.
I
was
buy an Astro Glass. It's 19. I think that one's an 86, so it's pretty new. I mean, older than me, but
Oh, I don't want to hear that.
No, it's-
Jesus.
I don't know.
Some of those
Boats
older
are weird,
boats,
man.
Yeah, they.
I mean, like the old Champions, people love. Like the one I got, I like it a lot. But some of these, I mean, I'm not going to pay $100 grand for a new
fiberglass.
Ranger.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd definitely stay fiberglass. I don't know.
I'm hoping
Personally, that's my preference.
I'm hoping Hunter goes in with me on this jet ski that
Oh,
Yeah.
We know
I
somebody
forgot
that's
to
selling.
tell you, Bryant, he was wanting to replace the golf cart down at the lake, and so
I could use
he
one.
decided to buy the Polaris. What are those?
Razor?
Those razors
Oh,
or
shit,
whatever.
like one of the 4-door ones.
Yeah.
One of the
mhm.
4-door
That go
ones.
like 70.
Yes,
Brand-
they go 70.
Why do you
It's
kill
got,
yourself?
It's got the bed in the back.
I would kill myself.
Yeah.
And he's waiting to take it down because what did he say, Keith? He was getting a windshield,
Yeah,
a
it doesn't
rear
have-
windshield.
It doesn't have any of the windshields on it, and it's not street legal. He wants it street legal,
Yep.
so he's gonna have like a bar light
my
and
God.
blinkers and stuff put
He's
on
getting
it.
all this shit put
That's
on.
scary. We had an old, like early 90s Jeep, old 2-door. I think it was a 5-speed with the
Oh my
4-cylinder.
god, that was so much fun.
Holy shit, driving this thing around. But the bad part is we get all fucked up down there after a day of fishing and playing cards. Just, we should have never done this. But like, if it was raining out, we knew this farmer's field,
Oh yeah.
maybe 2-3 miles away.
Just
So we
mud
put
it
up there. So we go down there and
Oh yeah.
fly this thing around like it was a dirt track. And yeah, I don't know how we never got arrested or flipped it.
I used to do that.
But that thing would crawl up. Like, I swear to God. I mean,
Like-
just put it into 4 low. You just let your foot. You don't have to. have your foot on
75
the clutch.
degree hill. You
Yeah.
could fucking get up that
That thing
thing.
was sick.
The
So we
only,
sold it.
The only time the one time I went down there to Table Rock with Austin, we were with our buddy Dylan too. And I knew how to drive a stick. Dylan didn't. So I drove it for a while. And then Dylan wants to get in. He starts trying to drive it. He kills it like 4 or 5 times. Austin's like, fuck that. I'm going to get back in it. I think we killed it like,
That thing was tough.
yeah. Somebody killed it, and then we had to push it back for a little bit. But it was that same weekend we were also hammered, and people were trying to use the boat ramp to get their boats into the water, and we were all fucking wrestling like right in the shallow
On the
end of the
ramp.
boat
Easy
ramp.
spot to stand. No rocks and stuff.
But
So maybe we'll have a jet ski because he was wanting to trade his in. I'm like, Hunter, let's just buy it from him.
mhm.
Yeah.
We'll go in on it because I want a jet ski so
I'll
bad.
give you a good deal, I bet.
Yeah, that's the thing. He's just
I
gonna
know.
give it to me, and I don't want to do that.
We'll pay
You
him
guys
for
got to
it.
drag it down to Table Rock.
Fuck yeah.
It's safe.
Well, I'd have to tow it because Hunter doesn't have a working truck right now.
What happened to Old Red?
Piston head's cracked.
Oh, you didn't know?
Mm-mm. Is
Oh,
that
I
what
haven't
that
told
noise
you
was?
about this? Yeah, that's what that noise was.
Yeah, his Old Red hasn't been out of his house
the
in
head's-
months.
Probably almost
The
6.
piston itself is cracked.
The piston head, yeah, 2 of the piston heads are cracked.
Yeah, valve slap.
I know,
It's
but
gotta be.
we've
that can't
looked
be
through
too
this.
hard to replace.
We've talked about this. It's because it does so much damage to the engine block itself that they would have to
Bored out,
bore it out, sandblast it before you could do the rebuild
recoat it,
on
and
it.
then
Yeah.
some new rings, new oversized pistons.
And by the time that's done, you're spending 2 times the amount that the truck's actually worth. So
What's a crate motor cost for that?
I said just go find one of those.
They make
Yeah,
great
go to a pick
motors
and
for
pull.
that.
Yeah, that or find like a
Isuzu.
little 4-cylinder turbo diesel out of like a forklift.
Chris has a BMW and a Charger, but he does all the engine work and all.
All
They're
his own
older.
wrenching?
He does
Yep.
all of his own wrenching, and
I love
so
wrenching.
so when I get it back, because I got a guy I worked with, he looked at it, found that the piston heads were cracked. He looked for an engine swap forever, couldn't find one just because it's Japanese.
Older than us. I
Yeah,
quit making them like 20
90
years ago.
92. It's a carbureted engine, all that shit. So when I get it back, I'm just gonna try and force Chris to just help me.
Probably get a couple of hamsters or something in there on a wheel.
He's got
Got a
a
Hayabusa.
he's
motor
got
in there.
he's got an engine block lift too, so we
Yeah.
can get the fucking thing out of there
Engine
if we
puller.
need to.
That'd be nice.
Oh, dude, we could get it out of there. It's just putting it back in.
Somebody got it in there. It can't be
Right.
that hard to get out.
Like I could take stuff apart. It's just remembering
No,
how
I
it
know
goes
that, but
together.
he's got the actual lift to get it out of there.
that thing's got to be a couple 100 pounds. I don't
I
know.
bet it's light as hell. I bet you
Yeah.
could probably pick it up and pick it out.
Is this another competition?
No.
No,
Oh.
and also, I'm never anything that's heavy. And if I'm around Chris, I'm not doing it again because he tried to shatter my foot. Did I ever tell you about this?
Mm-mm. It's before or after the basketball game.
This is way
Way
before the
after, okay.
basketball, way before the basketball game. And I'll keep it brief because we've talked about it before. But he's moving a gun safe down to his basement. I'm using those lifting straps. You've seen
Uh-huh.
the lifting straps before. Yep. When we got it down to the ground, we didn't realize there was just like thin metal piece on the back that was burred, but it was like real. It was almost flush with it. It was just barely sticking out. And me and his brother-in-law carry it. It's a split level, so we carry it in through the garage, and we go up to the first landing. That's just one stair up, and we're trying to get it re-angled so we can go down the stairs. I'm on the bottom. His brother-in-law's on the top of the stair, and so just that little burr cut the strap just clean, and it fell straight down. But luckily, there's that one stair in between, so it hit the stair first, then leaned over right on top of my foot. Had just the craziest black bruise over the top of my foot.
Ow.
Yeah, it hurt like a motherfucker.
Were you wearing flip flops?
No, I was wearing
That's not a good
shoes. I
call.
was wearing shoes.
Yeah, if he was wearing flip flops, that would have been
Those
the-
rainbows wouldn't have stopped that gun safe probably.
And so to transition into the next topic, that is why I didn't play as hard as I should have, and I let Chris
Oh
beat
yeah,
me
totally.
Oh yeah.
in this one-on-one match that we had.
Yeah,
Just
we did
like-
it Saturday, which I don't get up at this early for work, but
He
You
made
got-
sure.
Chris wanted to at 7:30 in the morning on a Saturday is when he wanted to have this basketball shootout with you two, and we went.
Keith, it's not called a shootout.
Yeah,
We
it's
were
a
playing
game.
one-on-one.
Oh.
It's a game.
Okay. Yeah, well, he needs some game because you did not bring your A game.
Listen here.
Here comes
He-
the excuses.
He beat me.
Yep.
He beat me fair and square.
And he did. So when we were talking about this, Chris was going to beat you 11-5.
It was 11-4.
Mhm.
However,
I told you the 4 things I was gonna do, and I did 3 of them.
we were shooting on the same hoop. That's fair enough. But
8-foot hoop.
no, it's 10. And he could back me down, and I would try and push up against him as hard as I could. I could have planted on my feet and took the charge, but I wasn't going to call him on. We weren't. It was call your own foul. I wasn't going to do that. But he'd back me down and then do this little hook shot, and he made probably about 40% of them, which ended up being the winning score because we were both
It's been
shooting.
a long game.
We were
It
both
was.
we were both shooting, and none of these baskets would drop because we're playing on a elementary school hoop.
It's a poor craftsman who blames his tools.
Yep.
Everybody who
Sounds
played,
like a loser.
everybody who played knows that backboard was made out of like freaking tin.
But here's the thing: you and Chris were playing in the same situation. It's not like he had something over you or
I think
anything like that. You
Hunter's
guys-
saying it suited Chris's game better.
It did suit his game better, and because how many bank shots did I have that would hit and then hit? They would freaking ricochet off, hit the front of the rim, and then just fucking go.
What did I win on? Wasn't it a bank shot from a 3?
No.
I don't remember.
Yeah,
it was.
yeah, from dead center.
All I remember is Alan and
Sounds
I
like
were
you just need to shoot better.
Alan and I were sitting back there
Okay.
counting air
Okay.
balls. You guys had just as many air balls as the score,
Okay,
if not more.
that's great.
And has nothing to do with the basket because you're not even hitting the
You're
basket at
telling
that
me the
point.
game wouldn't have been closer if we were playing on a normal hoop.
Nope.
Oh,
We gotta go lifetime.
fuck,
We're gonna
we
go
are
to
weird. I called a rematch, but he was too winded. He couldn't take me. So,
Let's play twos. I don't think I got like 5 minutes in me before I'll quit. But
not to mention, then Keith and Chris play on a team, and it's me and Alan, and then we beat them 11-1, easy. I wasn't even breathing hard. Chris is over here, hunched over, sucking wind.
I had someone over here about to puke.
Well,
That'd be me.
I had just played Alan in 1-on-1, and then you guys wanted to play 2-on-2. I'm like, man, I need a break.
I
I'm out
will-
of shape.
I will admit, I completely underestimated Chris's basketball skills. I will admit that he is better than I am. However, we went and played disc golf the other day. I'm throwing about 60%. Chris gets one about level with me and is giving me the look like, you see that? Next hole, outdrove him by probably 90 feet.
It is what it is.
And I only say that because I have to reinflate my ego a little bit
I know.
because I got my ass whooped in basketball.
You better hope it's not a close game the day we go play disc golf.
Oh.
You better hope it's not close.
Here's
I think I could take you disc golf.
Oh. He could take you for sure.
I don't know. It's been like
Also, Keith,
I
let's
want
be
to play
real.
with you guys.
Here's the thing.
Keep hearing
Hunter
about
was
it.
like, oh, I can beat him in basketball. So now that they're talking disc golf, I'm like, I was like, oh, Hunter's gonna win. Now it's like,
You really think that,
Yeah.
Keith? You really think
You
that?
got him thinking.
You really
Well,
think that? After the 18,
You know,
I was
if you
3
would've
under.
made it, like closer, like say 11-9.
After we went and played the
After-
other day, I was 3 under after the 18 holes. We played this. It was only a 9-hole course, but we played it twice.
We were messing around though. We weren't actually
Yeah.
playing.
Off first shots, I was 3 under through the whole round, through all 18. You guys were probably in the 20s, plus 20.
I was messing around. I was trying. That's
We're
why we
playing
went
around
there. We
with
were.
different
There's
disc.
so many. It doesn't matter. You're still trying hard on your
I
first
wasn't.
shot.
Hunter and I were pretty close for a
You
while.
weren't.
No.
As like when we first started, and I didn't beat
Austin.
him then, but then Hunter kept playing. When
You
he
want
moved
to
up
talk about a
fucking-
bomb forehand? Austin can crush. I bet he can throw.
Not anymore.
At the time, though, I bet he could throw 360 to
350.
400 forehand.
350. Maybe
Your
on
big
a
flex-
really good one.
Your big flex line. I bet you could.
Maybe 375. But yeah, not so much.
And then he'd park one and be 8 feet away, and he'd airball.
Yeah.
But his drive, man, his forehand drive was bigger than most people's backhand drives. It was insane.
So according to Nathan, he's gonna have some time off at the end of July,
Yeah.
and that's when this is gonna go down.
It's right after I played the Midwest Amateur
That's gonna be his
Championships.
excuses. He'd be like, "I just got off attorney. I'm
No, I'm not. I'm
burdened."
gonna be
Be
playing
fresh.
my best. I'm gonna be playing my best. What are you talking about?
That's what you said about basketball too. So we'll see. May the best.
I was
man
wrong
win.
about basketball, but basketball is never my sport.
And it's also like, all right, when was the last time either one of you really picked up a basketball? Like it was.
I will bet $100 right now that I will beat both of them handedly.
At Rosie,
Yeah.
What's the spread going to be?
because Nathan said it's going to come down to the last hole.
Is it plus or -3 strokes?
You're giving
My
them,
side, yeah.
You're giving them some, so +3.
+3.
See, by 3 strokes, you're going to be this.
Mm-hmm.
I would
That's
have set
actually-
the line at minus or +5.
So you think you're going to beat them by 3?
And he said he thinks I'm going to beat him by 5.
Well, I know
so-
that's why I'm surprised that you're.
I watched him play at
You were
Rose
calling
Hill
it so tight.
Yeah.
at that tournament. The first one I came and watched it, and it was, I don't know. I think we teed off. It was like 30 degrees. Warmed up to
No.
mid-40s.
It was in the single digits to begin
No.
with.
Was it?
Yeah. And then by the end of the day, it warmed up quite a bit. But with the wind chill, it was
Yeah.
insane. Anyways,
I don't know. He's hard to beat when he's playing well. And I think when he gets a little competitive, it either helps him a lot or hurts him a lot. I've seen him sometimes
fall
like
apart.
He gets too into his head sometimes. Yeah. Starts overthinking everything. It's like, dude.
But the
you
best
can do
part is having my dad caddy for me because he gets in my head all the time. So I've been able to kind of build up a little
Invite
shield
his
in my
dad
head.
when
Yeah.
you guys play.
I don't
Oh,
need
that's
to-
your only hope.
I'll
That's
just
your only
start
hope.
talking trash the entire
See,
time.
Chris,
The more you talk trash than that, the better I'm going to play.
Yeah,
Chris
I'm-
is
Invite
so
me. I have to
confident.
come to this.
Okay.
And
I have to
Nathan.
come to this.
you got to be confident.
And you got to play.
I'll play.
You and Keith can be doubles just for fun.
I think I could hang with you guys.
But the last
Not
okay,
you, but
nothing against Nate the Great. Love him to death. But he sent his scorecard on the short pins for Rosie to Chris and I, or not Chris and I, Keith and I, and he shot like a +8. And he said that was the best score he's ever shot.
He's gotten better, he said. He just played it this last week.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'd be lucky on a good day to shoot even on a really good day. Normally, if I'm really trying to actually count my scores, I'm like +3 or 4 on some of the courses around Olathe. But out there, I think it's an easier course, especially if it's in the short pins.
He's on the short pins, yeah. But this was his score on the short pins.
But I usually lose focus. I get bored.
Yep.
I'm in it for a few and then I start getting distracted.
start talking.
Because I'm trying to keep up with Hunter who sprints from hole to hole.
I know.
It's like,
dude.
hey, you have friends behind you. You want to stick
I
around
know,
and walk
he's
with
like-
us?
he's
He's like, "No, I'll meet you there.
Energizer Bunny.
Yeah.
It's like, dang, dude, let me pick up my disc before we run to the next
Yeah.
hole.
He's like, oh, wait, hang on. I forgot mine. Let me go back 3 holes and grab it.
On the bright side, though, then my next shot's terrible because I just ran
he's
3 holes.
winded. That's when you got to strike. Distract him so he forgets his discs. That way he's running all over the place.
Every time we play, he forgets one.
He's consistent. I will give him that. You know, something to be said.
I would throw up the B-roll of the game that you guys did, but it's not very good. I mean, unless you want me to, I'll throw up some B-roll.
But nobody blew up.
Don't
an
throw up the
Achilles.
B-roll because it's going to embarrass both of us. It took us 10 minutes before it even got to like 3-1.
Yeah,
we were
it
just
did.
fucking running around like madmen, sucking wind. But what you can do is throw up some B-roll. He doesn't have his mustache now, but if you want to talk about a very tall Mario, this man to a T. There's a picture that Keith will throw up. I show up, I'm helping him. So you got a wood planer, and this was for your vanity in the bathroom, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's really talented woodworker, but he was building the vanity for his master bedroom, and we had to plane this wood. And I show up, you know, I'm in like basketball shorts, t-shirt. I show up. He's in overalls, and he just happened to be wearing a red long sleeve shirt, and he had the full mustache going. And it was like,
It's a panty dropper.
it was like, all right.
My friend said I looked like the gay Mario brother,
Mhm.
which, you know, I was like, I'm cool with that. I've been called a lot worse.
And if Keith shows the other one, just imagine. So he was in a
I'll show it.
visor.
I'll show both of them if Austin's cool with it.
I don't care.
He was in a visor and he had it on properly, but later in the day, I didn't get a picture of it.
I needed a
He
haircut at the
flipped it
time.
upside down and turned it backwards. He literally looked like the strongest Butch Dyke with a mustache. I've never seen anything like it in my entire life.
That was growing up because, you know, we're way before your time. The
That
cool
was the
thing
cool
to do in high school, or was it middle school or high school?
Probably
Both.
both.
Was to wear the visor upside
Awesome.
down backwards and then spike your hair.
Yep.
You forget
I gotta-
they're like 10 years older than us.
Well, I can
Like,
tell.
dude, like
just looking at
7.
him.
Come on.
No. I got super
Old enough,
curly hair,
but
so it was
still
like a
good
little
enough.
afro poking out of my visor.
Yep.
Kind of looked like,
Yeah,
who is it? Peggy Hill? When she wear the visor?
Yeah.
If I had some glasses and she had a mustache, it would be pretty close.
Yep.
Could you, Chris, did you do the visor thing?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I had a white Adidas one.
Yep. I had a Boston Red Sox one that was multicolored. It was awesome. Because we were cool in
Yep.
school.
Oh, you guys were ill with it, huh?
Yep.
That's back when you were getting jiggy with it.
Probably doesn't even know who sings that.
Getting jiggy with it.
Who sings that? Who sings it, Hunter?
I don't know.
Exactly.
I know the,
Exactly.
I know the song though.
Come on, man.
Hey, you know how hard they tried to
He
get me
says
to
his
watch
name
Top
in the
Gun
song.
forever?
The new one?
No, the old one.
Isn't that a
Classic? Yes.
homosexual?
Yep.
Which is fine, you know.
Did you
Tom
say a
Cruise, it was like a love thing, like a forbidden love.
Yeah.
Because he never hooked up with the chick, right?
Hey,
No,
dude.
I don't think so. I don't think he wanted to.
I mean,
you
maybe-
could tell
yeah.
he didn't want to.
Are we
It
talking
was-
about the same movie here?
It was
Yeah.
forced, but
Right.
Top
when
Gun,
him
he-
and his partner were all oiled up playing beach volleyball,
Come on.
man, they were
I
feeling
got turned
it.
on, and I'm,
Hey,
thought I was confident in my sexuality, but maybe not after watching that scene.
hey, you got to be careful.
I
with
haven't
these
seen the
two
new one, I'm
because this
afraid.
this is their holy grail.
I
You
think
can't-
they're
this
talking
movie?
about it.
Oh,
completely
they get
different
so
movie.
These are the ones where they fly the little aeroplanes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yep.
Whatever.
man.
Teach their own.
To be fair, this is before Tom Cruise went full Scientology, so
Yeah,
I
back
kinda
in
like
the
him
I guess
80s.
more
it's
after
all
that.
right. Yeah, jumping on Oprah's couch. What's not to like about that?
That was so long ago.
That's when he first joined Scientology.
Marie, like he makes decent. Like I don't.
He's a hell of an actor.
I have no problem with his movies at all. I like his movies. Marie hates them.
Did you see the new one?
I want to go
Mm-mm.
see it.
I know. So do I.
Is it the one?
I've heard it's gotten like outstanding reviews.
Just like
But-
the first one.
You guys
Yep.
had to pull my teeth to watch the first one, so I'm gonna wait until you guys watch it and tell me I have to watch it 1,000
Oh
times.
my
before.
gosh.
Did you ever watch Yellowstone?
No,
Have you yet?
I tried.
I got halfway through the second season and then I just
It's not a.
You didn't get into it, Austin?
Well, I kind of fucked up when I started to watch it. So I think a new season had just come out. So Netflix, I don't know, assumed that I was caught up or something, or somebody had watched it prior to me. Somebody was borrowing my account, but it started, I think, on a season finale episode. And I was so confused. I was like, they haven't really introduced characters. This seems crazy what's going on. If this is so, I watched that and I was like, man, I don't know if I
Yeah.
can do another one. This is a lot. And
You
then,
got to start from
Turns
episode
out it was
one,
like,
season
yeah.
one.
Yep.
this is
I don't know, a bunch of
as much as
You know,
Keith
it's like
wants
the
me
people
to
that sing
watch,
country songs. It's just a, I don't know, it seems like
it
pandering.
pandering.
Yeah, just
They're
a bunch of.
pandering. I don't know. From what I watched, it was pretty good. But I will say,
I probably like it.
Chris and I can agree on this.
Well, if you like guns,
1,000%.
you really like it.
Chris and I can agree on this 1,000%. Peaky Blinders is one of the best shows ever.
Yeah, I haven't watched the new season.
And Keith refuses
What?
to watch it.
I've watched it like 4 times all the way through.
I probably watched it.
I can
10
almost watch
times.
it without
I don't know.
subtitles. That's how many times I've
I
seen
freaking
it.
flew
Almost.
through it.
Oh yeah. Oh, I don't even use subtitles. I just
Oh,
immerse myself into this 1920s.
I start talking like that.
yeah.
I think
Oh,
Peaky Blinders to me,
I want cigarettes and whiskey.
Tommy.
Peaky Blinders to me is like Top Gun to you.
You know, the hard part about Peaky Blinders though is they make whiskey look so good that you constantly want to
Yeah.
drink.
No, smoking cigarettes, right?
Both.
Both.
Because aren't they like constantly? Or no, that was that Sons of Anarchy. You said that.
Sons of Anarchy too, but for sure Peaky Blinders
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
Tommy's always lighting up
Always
and
doing
he's
the-
just drinking
got the pack.
constantly. You're like, it's freaking 9 a.m. and you're just
drinking.
down 2 shots. Like,
Yeah.
how's the rest of your
And
day
what,
gonna go?
what they smoking like when they're acting? That's like
It's fake.
Clothes,
it's,
right?
it's
Yeah.
fake.
Yeah, it's
but
close.
what?
So I actually listened to an interview that he was doing, and he said that he never did it, but a lot of it hurts more to inhale, and you're still inhaling like
Smoke in your lungs.
Mhm.
combusted plant matter into your lungs. That a lot of the actors actually just switch to smoking cigarettes instead.
At least you
But,
get a buzz off that. I mean,
right? And you're not just smoking like
well,
fucking
it's
tea
like,
leaves
it's
or
like
some
what
shit.
you know when they're drinking. It's in Yellowstone. He's got a bottle of whiskey. And it's not real whiskey.
Tea or something, right? That's
Yeah,
what it was in
something
like
that.
Trailer Park
Mhm.
Boys.
It's like if I were acting, I'd be like, all right, give me the real stuff, and that'll help me act.
Mhm.
Of course, then if you got to do the scene a bunch of different times.
Take
but,
15.
You'd probably be drunk.
Sleeping.
but yeah, I'm finally trying to finish Sons of Anarchy. I'm struggling through season.
That show got
last year.
repetitive
You ever watch
too.
it?
Yeah, the
Mhm.
first 3 or 4 seasons.
Yeah, it is. I'm like,
How many times
almost
are they
the
going to
end.
get in the
That's
fights?
how.
How many times
right?
are we going to watch?
That's what
that
the
blonde dude?
Sopranos turn into me.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh shit, they're in trouble with the FBI again. How are they gonna get out of it this?
Oh,
You know, it's
I
just
love
like
that show.
over and over
That's one of
again.
my favorites.
But I just felt the same way about that. Whereas Peaky, always a new enemy, always a new time to just trudge on and be a badass.
And the creator of Yellowstone was the deputy sheriff in the first 1 or 2 seasons of SOA.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's a great show.
Yep.
Just finish it.
But-
You'll love it.
Ozarks.
Oh, great
great
show.
show.
Yeah.
Great. It was there were
Nothing
times
on the Ozarks.
there were
but-
times it was like, all right, this is dragging on. Let's.
Yeah.
But it was. I did not like the way it ended because it's like, what the fuck? Like,
Spoiler alerts. I don't even remember how it ended. I watched it.
it doesn't answer any questions. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
what happens?
It's worth it.
I haven't seen a single episode.
Are
You
you
should watch it.
are you getting up to go to the? Okay. 100 tends to get up in like mid episode and go to the bathroom.
We had another Ice Cube, but
Hey,
the
you
one
didn't-
at a break,
hey,
though.
good job. You didn't
Nice.
break that glass. High five.
All right, Keith. I see how it is.
What?
I just gave you a way nicer glass for the shit when I broke, and that's how you're gonna repay me.
you have those cool liquor decanters where you store
I
your.
actually do not have a
booze.
decanter.
I got
Or
a
no,
barrel one.
We do.
Yeah.
Actually, you guys gave us one for Christmas
Last year.
Last year.
Yeah.
But is that, can you do that with whiskey or
I think you're. I
I
don't-
think the one we gave you is a wine decanter.
is there a difference?
Yeah, because you cork. There's a thing to seal the whiskey, and the wine decanter. You assume you're drinking the whole bottle, so you let it breathe for a while, and then you just pour out of it. There's nothing to seal the top of it.
Gotcha. Marie, we haven't
Oh.
used it yet. It's downstairs on our bar, but the problem is Marie drinks wine too quick to even mess with a decanter.
Nothing wrong with that.
So
To-
that's something
to
if you
each
pour
their own.
if you put wine in that decanter, you got to pretty much drink it the same day or within a couple days, just like if you open a bottle.
It
Or
would be if with wine, it'd be the same day. But if you figure there's in a bottle of wine, technically that's 4. So it's
4 glasses.
4 glasses.
beers.
yeah. Well, yeah, it's 4 beers, 4 shots, or 4 glasses of wine. There's 4 glasses of wine in one bottle. So
Man, I feel like I get drunker drinking a bottle of wine than I
You
do
do.
4 beers.
Oh yeah, for sure, because it's stronger.
yeah,
It's generally 14% versus a beer
I
that's
think he's
5.
saying alcohol wise, so
yeah,
it's
because
all
because
same alcohol content.
the pour of it's either 6 or 8 ounces for a glass of wine versus 12 ounces for a beer versus
Oh, okay.
1 ounce for a shot, right? It's like relative to the alcohol content. Generally speaking, there's obviously beers that are way high,
Right. It's like a light beer.
but just generally speaking, like that's the ratio. But I think it's the sugar in the wine. Your insulin spikes, and so your body's absorbing the alcohol way faster than if you are drinking a beer or whatever else.
Maria and I went on a
Makes
wine
sense.
kick there for a while at our old house, and we were buying bottles of wine, but we'd like each drink one per each of us, and then we're like, this is getting expensive. Then we switched to the box stuff, and that's dangerous because it stays longer, and you put that in your fridge, and just a little spout. I'm just gonna just keep filling your glass.
and then eventually you just remove that middleman and you just kind of hold it over your head.
Just fucking let it go.
So those are dangerous. So and then with wine, they're high in calories, so they don't.
That's
Keith
why I
and-
drink
yeah.
Natty Light.
Keith and Chris, I can't remember. Have you guys ever tried hot sake?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, did we get some when we went to was it your birthday thing or Jasmine's or Marie's or yours?
that
Yeah,
was
well, all of
Jasmine's.
us were there. Yeah, we
Yeah.
did get a little bit, but back in the day, we used to go to Sake Lounge. It was right by AMC 30,
Oh,
right
man.
right across from
It's
the movie
amazing.
theater.
We go there all the time.
And we would go during happy hour, and we knew we were like, all right, we're gonna eat a bunch of food, we're gonna get super fucked up. But hot sake gets you really fucked up because before your body, because alcohol is absorbed through the stomach into the bloodstream, and before your body can absorb it, your body has to heat it up to body temperature before it can absorb it. Well, when you're drinking hot sake, it's already at body temperature, so it's just boom. And so back in the day, we used to go during happy hour, eat a bunch of food, get fucked up, walk across the street, watch a movie, half
Fall
the
asleep
time we
during the
were
movie.
falling asleep during the movie, and then sober up and then drive home after. But
Nice.
we used to do that back in the day all the time.
It was a good time.
Back in the day, 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
I don't know.
If
We're still in college.
It's
probably.
funny,
Yeah.
Marie
10
and I,
8 years.
you're limited kind of sushi places out here in Olathe. So Marie and I like that place. And one night we're like, hey, what do you want? And we're both like, I'm like, sushi. She's like, okay. We did not like say, hey, meet me at this restaurant. We both just assumed the other was thinking about Sake Lounge. And we showed up and like, I'm glad we were both on the same page here.
Nice.
Would have been
Nice.
awkward.
Yeah, like I'll meet you for sushi at 6:30. We never said where. We just ended up at Sake Lounge.
Hell yeah.
It's good.
It is a good place.
It's the best I've found around here.
Yeah. I mean, I've eaten there so many times. I've never been like, ugh. That
And the
was not a good
sushi's
one.
better, and it's not like a dance club environment. Like you go to some of the ones around Kansas City,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, why is the music so loud? Why are lights flashing? Can I just eat?
Like
And,
that
I
one
mean,
over in
you can't even like raw.
it, Town
I think it's
Center?
Raw.
called.
Yeah,
Mhm.
raw sushi.
It's. I mean, that experience. I guess if that's what you're looking for is cool. I just want to feel uncomfortable after eating sushi. You know, I don't want bright lights and stuff. When
Yeah.
it's dimly lit.
I want to feel
Quiet.
like my stomach's about to explode.
Yeah.
And I want to go sit on a couch somewhere and just fucking bug out on some TV or something.
Yeah.
Chris isn't a sushi guy. He can't do it.
Nope.
No, not even like the cooked and fried stuff.
Not even a California roll.
You know those real picky eaters?
Uh,
That's him.
oh boy.
No, I'm not.
I don't find like anything I don't like, man. I don't know, to bring
I
up
have
another
to
topic.
try to find something I don't like.
Yeah.
I think.
I have been on such a huge kick with grilling with charcoal and smoking with it. I have spent, I don't know, like at least 3 nights a week for like the last 2 months. We've cooked with charcoal. I bought one of those little Weber kettle, the 22-inch ones.
Yep.
Everybody's got them. And I've constantly chicken wings, pork butt,
You name it.
steak. Yeah, literally. It's my favorite. I don't know if I'll ever go back to propane.
You
I know
it's
it takes time, but it's so worth it to me.
You know, it's pretty cool. Well, I don't expect you to, but if anybody's watching, if you missed our episode on when we did the Jack Daniels tour, so Jack Daniels makes their own charcoal, and then they drip pretty much what's distilled directly off the mash, so it's like
Moonshine.
Everclear, pretty much, and they drip it through this charcoal, and it's 14 feet tall, and it drips slowly all the way down, and it melts the shit out. It takes all of it
Filters
out.
all of it.
Yeah. And that charcoal lasts for 9 to 12 months. When they have to refill it with new charcoal, they take all that old charcoal, send it to Kingsford.
Yep.
And they have, so if you ever see the
Yeah, I've seen
Jack
that.
Daniels, they just press those into the briquettes, and then they're also self-starting because there's alcohol.
Yeah, huh?
Yeah.
I'll have to
So
try those. I've just been using the chunk stuff. I know there's nicer, like not pellets,
Briquettes.
but briquettes. Yeah, and I know a lot of people swear by those. I haven't tried any of those yet. I just gone to the chunk stuff,
Oh,
but
actually.
I like
throw
the chunk
real
stuff
wood in
better
there.
though.
yeah.
better.
Oh yeah, I got some
Apple,
walnut
cherry.
or some scraps laying around in my garage. That'll.
I think
It's the best.
the chunk charcoals. I mean, you can get it hotter, and it's
Oh my god, you can get it. Insane.
scorching hot. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just thought it was cool because we went and saw the tour, and then they explained to us because they're trying to get zero waste by 2025, and so they were showing us how they don't waste anything. But anyways, I gotta say, guys, it's a pretty good podcast.
We struggled at the beginning. We had some I couldn't talk, and then we had microphone issues, but
Little technical.
you know what? Maybe
difficulties.
Is it
once
over
we got
already?
the whiskey in us, we
Did fine.
yeah.
Hey, but no matter whatever you
Is
do,
it over already? That's what she says.
No, yeah, right. Disappoint my wife every night. Whatever you do, look out.
Because
Chris and
it is
I
now your
have some
job.
merch dropping. There's going to be some merchandise dropping here soon.
My IT guy and my co-host,
No,
co-host.
no, the main host of the show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Do I get
Uh,
a shirt for being the first guest? Since
yeah.
it's dropping.
I'm mad that he didn't give you a shirt before we got
I know,
on.
My A cups are hanging out.
I'm
Looking at
stuck
my-
with mediums.
Keith's over here like,
could squeeze him in.
I don't have any more. I don't have any more. You could have easily given him one
I'm
of
kidding.
yours for
I'm
the
kidding.
goddamn show. Doesn't matter. So, anyways, be watching out for that merch drop. And as always, look out for Shotgun Studio. Keith just released a new video on that.
Not yet. Oh, actually, by the Friday, yes, it should be out. I hope.
So it'll be out.
I hope.
Want me to bring over?
You told me you were.
As
Doesn't
lo-
matter.
As long as I can
Doesn't
get the
matter.
thumbnail done by Friday, it'll drop.
Might not be next episode, but maybe the following episode, I will have beaten Chris on one-on-one, and then the following episode after that, I will have destroyed him and his brother in disc golf.
think
So
the
be looking
whiskey's
out for
kicking
I
in.
could
that.
probably shoot a scramble, and I bet you'd still take them. Do you think?
They are shooting a
I'm
scramble.
doing scramble.
Oh,
They're scrambling against me.
see, that's why I was thinking +5 at first. But if it's a scramble, +3 is probably right.
Yeah,
Man,
but-
if me, I want to shoot on a scramble.
we'll talk about this off camera. All
right,
right,
and then-
anyway,
Yep. Sorry.
Cool.
Go ahead.
All right.
you go ahead. You go ahead.
No. I was just gonna say we should shoot a scramble. Be another team.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I,
sure. Well, what happens if
We'll be
Austin
the
and I
underdogs.
win? Like we beat all of you.
You guys got to retire. I think.
That's awesome. The main competition is between
I don't care about that.
the main competition is between us.
All right,
Between
all right.
Nate the Great
I think
and
he should try to do. How many points did I beat him by?
Chrissy Chaos. Nate the Great.
7.
Yeah, 7 points.
So he's got to beat us by 7.
Bring it.
You're gonna beat
Make
him
you
by
do it.
7. Disc golf. All right.
I mean, I very well may. I don't know. I've seen both of them shoot. I'd never seen Chris. I've never seen Chris shoot a basketball before, so that was, blew my mind. But I've seen both of them throw a disc, and so, I'm more comfortable with that number.
We'll see. That'll be coming up at the end of this month, couple weeks. And so, so we appreciate you guys tuning in. Austin, thanks for joining.
Thanks
Good
for having
having
me.
you here. And check out Shotgun Studio. Like and subscribe to the Boomstick Tactical channel on YouTube. And also check us out on Spotify and all those other things.
And look out for that merch, Chris.
Have a good one.